Oun Abbas saying here for Seconds Out, here with Martin Bowers, the trainer to Daniel Dubois. We're here on Wednesday, the Wednesday before the Saturday that your fighter fights, Joe Joyce. How does it feel to just finally get to this point? We know the whole year has been topsy-turvy. There's been a lot of cancellations, but we're finally here.
Oh, obviously, it's been some ups and downs, but everyone's had that this year, like not just the sports people, regular people who are going to work and trying to get a living. So for us to actually be at this position where we can get this fight on, it's great for both teams and obviously great for BT, Queensbury and everyone involved. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Martin, I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, last time when obviously your guy Denzel Bentley won the title, but I spoke to you about the new gym, and I know Daniel's training out there, and I was just reading a couple of interviews that he's spoken about training in this new place, and he said it's got an old school feeling to it. He's running in the farm, he's pulling weights, he's flipping tyres. Just talk to me about the new place.
Well, nothing's changed. I mean, it's still the same routine, or the regime, I should say. Like all fighters, you get to the gym and you work hard, and then, wherever you are and whatever the circumstances are, whatever, equipment you've got around you, you make the most of it, and hopefully that's what we're doing. And, nothing's changed really, it's back to the grind.
How difficult has it been for yourself, for maybe Daniel as well, that, you've had to sort of keep postponing, the fights got postponed again and again, and, with a fighter, I know you've got to reach a peak for him to come into the ring by, but then you've had to sort of, there's been peaks and troughs in this whole camp. Just talk to me how you've handled that.
Well, myself, it's not a problem for me, is it? But more so for the fighters, like Dan, he's handled it very well. As I keep saying, and I don't want to keep mentioning it, but Joe's team's had the same problem. So, listen, they're both on the same page. They're both very fortunate that we're getting this show on behind closed doors. It's a shame for the fight fans who would love to be there and see this, and I understand that. I'm a fight fan. If I wasn't involved, I'd probably go along to this myself. But it is what it is. It's the fight game. Listen, we had it last week with little Chris Bulk. He was fighting, and that fight was off. Now it's on. It happens. It's part of learning to deal with the pressures of the game.
Let's talk about then the actual fight itself. Your guy Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. There's a lot of talk about the youth of your fighter against maybe someone who's a little bit more experienced, and I'm talking about his amateur background going into professional career. Do you see it like that as well?
Listen, Joe's a grown man, and we all know that, and we're all aware of what he's done, and we're all grateful for what he's done for the sport. But without talking out of turn, I think this is Dan's time.
How much is it of a dangling carrot that you see this WBO opportunity that, we know that could get vacated in that, if it does, you've got Alexander Usyk as number one and number two is Daniel Dubois. How much of a motivation is it to yourself and your fighter?
None at all. And I don't want to sound arrogant there or flash, but we've only thought of this fight. We haven't really even spoke about that. This is the hurdle we've got to jump, and you don't want to be jumping hurdles that you're not at yet, and we've only got to prepare for Joe, like one fight at a time. Whatever happens outside of this will happen, and if we're in a fortunate position to be there, all well and good, and we'll work on that at the time. But at this present moment in time, it's just this European title fight is massive, and that's all we've got to think about.
I was watching the face-off where Frank Warren, Daniel Dubois, and there was Sam Jones and Joe Joyce on BT Sport. And in that, they kept mentioning the fight with Kevin Johnson, Sam Jones, and Joe Joyce was saying that he was headhunting, couldn't really get the job done. And now people are saying that, Joe Joyce, even though Daniel's come on leaps and bounds since then, that, Joe Joyce has got a good chin. And it might be a situation where Daniel struggles to find a way in. What do you make of all these comments that especially happened on that show as well?
Well, listen, we'll see on the night, won't we? We'll see on the night. Listen, this... Daniel's career has been a work in progress, and I don't want to blow our trumpet or make it sound like that we've done this great job on him. I think Dan's improved as he's gone on, and I think you'll see that on Saturday night, God willing. And I don't read nothing into it. Listen, this is when you make these matches, you're hoping to get some rounds under your belt and learn a few things, and we learned things that night. And that's what the sport's about. And that was Dan's, Dan's apprenticeship.
When people talk about Daniel Dubois and highly touting to, sort of fight at world level at some point, obviously we spoke about the WBO, but I'm just saying in general, when you hear this buzz from fight fans, how do you sort of pull the reins in a little bit on Daniel and sort of just make sure he's just concentrating on the next fight?
Well, to be fair, he's quite a level-headed fella, and we. Like I said, we don't start believing our own press down the gym. Every day's a new day in the gym, and every day you have to do the work again. You can't just sit back and rest on your morals, or because someone pats you on the back think that you've arrived. You've never arrived in boxing. Every day's a new day.
Finally, what happens on Saturday night? Do you feel like there's a stoppage coming? Or both men were saying it's going to get stopped. Whichever way it's going to happen, there's going to be a stoppage, and your fighter said it's going to be a devastating stoppage. How do you see that fight playing out?
I just think it's going to be a very exciting night.
Actually, before I let you go, a fight that got announced from one of our own fighters, Callum Smith, fighting Canelo, December 19th, great fight. Just give me your just talk to me about how you think that fight plays out.
Well, listen, again, I'm an Englishman. I'm going to support our fighters, so that's how I want it to pan out.
Yeah. Martin, listen, good luck to yourself, to Daniel and the rest of the team, and hopefully, we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much for talking to Seconds Out. Top man, I appreciate that. Thank you.